Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 9.
Good evening and welcome to Mississippi Live Weather at 9. It's been a busy Mother's Day, whether you've been hanging out with your mom, treating her extra special today, or kind of getting through some of these storms. A few of those been a little severe as they've moved through North Mississippi. We've been talking about these storms that will move through this afternoon, evening, and technically into the overnight period, but thankfully most of these continue to be sub-severe. We've been talking about not quite having the confidence. Thankfully, that continues to be the trend into the overnight period ahead. So let's get you caught up for everything you need to know as we wrap up this weekend and get ready for our work week ahead. The main storyline and kind of headline for tonight, those isolated showers and storms, they will continue to persist. Thankfully, most of them, pretty much all of them ongoing right now, have been sub-severe. We've seen a few warnings earlier on today, not quite seeing that at this time, hopefully to kind of continue seeing that trend throughout the next few hours ahead. But we have a beautiful start to the work week. We were talking about we got to get through these storms today, enjoy kind of the overnight period, getting ready for the work week ahead. And then our work week's going to be absolutely beautiful, picture perfect for your Tuesday, Wednesday, technically into your Thursday as well. We're finally enjoying much calmer and drier weather. We've been in an active weather pattern, but thankfully things are starting to kind of cool off, not really temperature wise, but as far as that activity, just kind of always talking about storm chances, rain chances, not quite talking about that this upcoming work week. So finally getting a break from everything, but we got to get through tonight first. So take a look at our Mama Justice Doppler radar. We still have quite a few of those showers out west towards the Delta. We can actually, noticing how there's not really anything here on the eastern side of our viewing area, we can switch this over to take a look at a better kind of just visual on those showers further out west towards the Delta. Switching that to the Memphis radar, still nothing too impressive, just soggy conditions continue to persist. Again, nothing strong or severe at this time. That continues to be the trend pretty much throughout the evening and into the overnight period ahead. So I wanted to give you the latest look before we continue further on to this broadcast. But again, thankfully, just talking about some heavy showers moving on through, not even talking about too many lightning strikes as well. So just not as energetic as it was earlier. But we're still dealing with a few of those. Take a look at the first 12. We're still talking about those thunderstorms and rain showers throughout the overnight period. Thankfully, continuing to take that decline downward trend as the further along we get, especially post midnight towards 1 o'clock, 20% coverage, cooling off towards the mid 60s, low 60s by 4 o'clock. And when we're walking out the door tomorrow, we could still see a few spotty showers. So make sure to tune in to our morning meteorologist, Maggie McCauley. She'll make sure to get you ready bright and early for your Monday morning tomorrow and let you know kind of where those soggy showers are kind of continuing to persist for a few of us. But thankfully, drier weather, it's on the table. It's finally going to make its way back to us here in North Mississippi. Just got to wait a little bit further into our Monday before we can really start to enjoy it. So coming back to our Mama Justice Doppler radar, again, wanted to lead off with that just in case anything intense was going on. We're still not talking about anything quite like that, which actually, let me walk. Actually, no, I can change that later. This frame won't do that, but wanted to kind of see what those lightning strikes look like because I don't have that turned on. But again, the main story is nothing impressive is ongoing tonight. And again, we didn't really think this was an impressive severe weather setup in general. So glad to see that that continues to verify. We're going to keep eyes in it or on it into the overnight period as well. Now, what's responsible for this, as you know by now, is that cold front. You can see some of those severe thunderstorm warnings just ahead of it. We were covering that earlier as it kind of left our Mac South region for Newton County and starting to head into Lauderdale. And you can see those warnings kind of kept going further and further closer towards Alabama state line, finally stopping right before it crossed. But that's about it. We're not seeing any of those warnings behind the cold front, hoping to keep it that way. We had a severe thunderstorm warning for Attala, Montgomery, and Choctaw earlier today, and that's been about it. So most of us have been pretty fortunate and lucky not to deal with that severe type of thunderstorm kind of moving on through. But I know quite a few of us have heard those rumbles of thunder, seen those slashes of lightning, and just heavy downpours throughout the day. Now take a look at our latest look at Futurecast. Not quite as accurate as I would hope for it to be. It's still trying to pick up on some of those western showers along the Mississippi River, a little bit too far west, but it's still picking up on a lot of showers happening out east, and we didn't really see that ongoing. So not quite as confident with this model, but one of the stories is it's still not showing much of that rainfall into the overnight period. So I think it will linger just a little bit just due to it being further out west ongoing currently than what that model is picking up. But the good news is most of those models that come out hour by hour continue to show that decline in rain chances into your Monday tomorrow. So Still going to be somewhat soggy, especially if this is technically running a little bit ahead. I think those rain chances will linger for us just a little bit longer, but thankfully not as intense, and definitely not going to bother us throughout most of our Monday tomorrow, since those models kind of keep pushing those rain chances out of here quick. So next 24, it's going to show exactly that. We're starting off in the low 60s by 6 o'clock. Still maybe seeing a few spotty showers in the early morning hours. Again, our morning meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, will walk you through that bright and early tomorrow before you get ready for the workday. That will continue towards that 9 o'clock hour. I mean, still just 10%, barely any of us seeing those rain chances. Then we're finally talking about drier weather by lunchtime and on, low 70s by 12, mid 70s by 3. That's about as high as we're getting. So noticeably cooler tomorrow. We're going to also have that northerly wind allowing us to experience these cooler temperatures and maybe feel slightly cooler than what they actually are reading outdoors. And then we'll eventually start cooling off towards the mid 60s tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Start to see or witness a clearing take place, and that will set up sunny skies for your Tuesday as well. But I want to give you a full in-depth look on what North Mississippi looks like for the rest of the night, and also what your work week has in store. So we'll be breaking down everything overnight into your Monday, also what your Tuesday looks like. All of that's coming up as Mississippi Live Weather at 9 continues after this break.
When something this big comes crashing into your life, it's not just metal that takes the hit. It's your time, your health, your future. And the companies behind it, they're already protecting themselves. You need someone who knows how to stand up to them. I'm Casey Lott. If you've been injured in a truck accident, call me today.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-tirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
For the first time anywhere, a digital-only weather source has been nominated for not one, but 2 Emmy Awards. This is the 25th nomination I've been humbled to receive over the years, and while accolades are great, we're just proud to deliver the weather coverage that you deserve. Thank you, North Mississippi, for supporting us here at Mississippi Live.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Caleb Edelblut.
Well, welcome back to Mississippi Live Weather at 9. Hope you guys are still in the comments. I noticed somebody was commenting. Looks like y'all just commented again. Y'all were asking about those rain chances and kind of what we mean by it as far as like how it's calculated or kind of the best description for it. For me personally, typically it's usually your confidence with your coverage area. So let's just take, for example, your Monday tomorrow. I have that as a 20%. So I'm pretty confident that around 20% of our coverage all here in North Mississippi, we'll see some of that rainfall kind of extend post midnight into your early morning hours. So this is kind of signifying that most of us will stay dry, but a few of those spotty showers and kind of sprinkles will linger into the overnight period, bother some of us tomorrow morning, but thankfully it'll be a mostly dry day tomorrow, especially once we reach lunchtime and into the afternoon hours. And especially when you saw the next 12, next 24, that's kind of showcasing kind of almost the majority and how confident I am with that for us here in North Mississippi. So I hope that answers your question. It's kind of just showcasing kind of that higher percent, shows that increased confidence and more of us experiencing those soggy conditions, but hopefully that answers your question. But take a look at the rest of your 7-day forecast, because Monday's kind of showing the little activity we'll have kind of lingering over from tonight. We're talking about cooler conditions technically towards the mid 70s for your Monday, upper 70s Tuesday, and then drier and much clearer skies by the start of the work week tomorrow. Now, those current conditions right now, 68 degrees feels like 64, so already getting some of those positive effects from the cold front, and then that dew point right around 65, so a little bit close to kind of seeing those rainy conditions here in Tupelo, but not quite experiencing it just yet. Now, one thing I do want to change, I'm just not really agreeing with this HER model, if I'm being completely honest, because we saw a lot of showers further out west. So let's see if we can modify this. This one's pulling the latest run, which I'm still not a fan of. Yeah, I mean, that's better. It's keeping it more on the western side. So let's change it to that, and I'll just manually drag this over. So this is showcasing some of those rain chances by 9 o'clock, still kind of heavier on the western side, moving across North Mississippi. And we're going to continue to kind of slide this so I can show you guys where it's going to continue to move over. a bit of this looks pretty heavy into the 9-10 o'clock time frame. And this is, again, where you need to tune in during our 10 o'clock show to see if this ends up verifying, because timing has been one of the tricky things with this forecast. It's just, it hasn't been an impressive setup, and we're just going to talk about that summertime pop-up convection, those thunderstorms. So not very organized, which is a good thing that we'd like to continue to see. So could start to see some of those showers continue to push further and further east by 10 o'clock, affecting those out there in Winona, Eupora, Bruce, Grenada. I know a lot of y'all got those heavier showers earlier today for Montgomery, Choctaw, Natala County. So that'll be around the 10 o'clock time frame. So make sure to continue to tune in with us later on tonight. It'll continue to push further and further towards the Golden Triangle region by 11 o'clock. Now, again, this is just the version that we got this afternoon. I just like this one a little bit better since it's keeping those showers further out west, because that's what we currently are seeing on our Mama Justice Doppler radar. So starting to see those showers continue to push further into the Golden Triangle region by 11 o'clock. And then thankfully, they're going to continue to move out of our area by midnight. By midnight, we're still talking about quite a few heavy showers in Lowndes County and into Knoxville, getting closer towards the Tennessee state line. But again, not widespread rain chances. So these are still very isolated. Most of us are starting to see those drier conditions, and that will thankfully continue for most of us into the overnight period. Those showers continue to move on out. I can shift this over just a little bit more. That way I'm not covering up anybody since I am staying right here. And that will continue to kind of be the story. View those pop-up showers throughout the overnight time frame while we still have those rain chances overnight. Sorry, I have to clear my throat. You see a few of those heavier showers out there in Hollandale. There we go. And then out towards Natala County into Holmes. Again, not expecting anything severe, just some of those heavier showers. But like I keep mentioning, our morning meteorologist, Maggie McCauley, she'll be up and at them bright and early to make sure you guys are well informed. Just they don't really have enough fuel and energy to kind of act on by those early morning hours. So still talking about those soggy conditions overnight, but once we kind of make it past, let's say almost breakfast, in between breakfast and lunch, we're going to start talking about those drier conditions, and that will be a good thing. So let's kind of discard all those changes I did. That way I can keep that for the next time I show you guys everything. We'll save it, and then we'll go towards our lows tomorrow. There we go. I like playing with everything and breaking and fixing it. So taking a look at those low temperatures overnight tonight, we're going back down into upper 50s for some, but primarily pretty much the low 60s all across North Mississippi. So that's about where we should be for this time of year. Your average, our normal, is around 60 degrees, as you can see in the top left of our screen. So nothing too crazy as you start off your Monday morning tomorrow. And of course, with it being Monday morning, got to put in that school day planner for the kiddos. Low 60s by drop off, upper 60s by lunchtime, starting to talk about drier conditions. And then by the last bell, it's going to be a beautiful afternoon with those temperatures finally making their way into the mid 70s, much cooler tomorrow. Thankfully, talking about those drier conditions as well. Now, Futurecast still showing those kind of sporadic showers into the early morning hours. This is starting off around 6 o'clock, a little bit heavier down there, just south of Louisville, pretty much just along the border of our viewing area, continuing towards Macon, even in Tala, Winston, and Knoxville County. A few of those showers out there in the Delta as well towards lunchtime. But again, a majority of us continue to enjoy drier conditions. These are just going to be some isolated sprinkles and showers moving on through North Mississippi. If we continue to see this verify, we're not talking about anything severe tomorrow, nothing like we've been experiencing today. And even today, just quite hasn't been that high impact type of severe day, which has been a positive. But by 6 o'clock dinner time, pretty much we're talking about dry conditions everywhere across North Mississippi. And then from that point on, we're going to continue talking about dry conditions and just a much calmer, clearer weather pattern that will definitely be welcomed here. That will continue into your evening hours tomorrow. Now, those high temperatures noticeably cooler tomorrow as compared to today, thanks to that cold front. It brought us those rain chances, those storm chances, but thankfully cooler conditions as well. We're dropping down towards the mid 70s, and thankfully those feels like values make us feel maybe slightly cooler as well. So all around a beautiful forecast tomorrow, and it will continue to improve for the rest of the work week as well. Of course, with us finally talking about drier conditions, might as well take the dog out for a walk tomorrow, even before work, after work, maybe if you have a little lunch break. Low 60s by 7 o'clock. Still talking about some of those spotty showers. Drier conditions by lunchtime with temperatures already back in the upper 60s and continuing to warm up towards mid 70s tomorrow evening. Now, coming back to Futurecast, this is transitioning back to our strike model. So still showcasing maybe the possibility of a light. Not too confident on these. I'm expecting to start by dinner time tomorrow, and thankfully most of us continue to stay dry. And that's going to continue to be the story all night long. I'm pressing play. This is playing throughout your entire overnight period, not pausing it. We're not having to talk about anything. And one of the reasons we're staying dry, calm, and clear is this big H. I can actually zoom this out just so you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a high pressure system kind of getting closer towards our area, which I'm still kind of covering it up right there. That's going to allow us to enjoy just much more mild weather here in North Mississippi, but allow us to stay calm and clear and dry. So as we continue into your Tuesday, this is starting off around 8 o'clock for your Tuesday morning. That high pressure system already kind of scooting by North Mississippi, and this is in play all throughout your Tuesday. There's no reason to pause. There's nothing to talk about. We're staying clear, warm, and just beautiful all day long. We're now at 5:30 for your Tuesdays. You're tuning in for the 5 and 6 o'clock broadcast. Still talking about those beautiful and dry conditions throughout your day and even into the overnight period. We're talking about that cold front during our 6 o'clock broadcast with Matt, maybe trying to bring the chance for a few showers overnight Tuesday into your Wednesday. But again, it's a big, big if, and if we were to get any, it won't be impressive enough to wake us up. You won't even know that it occurred with just how sprinkly and light in nature it'll be. But those high temperatures for your Tuesday, warming up already just due to that high pressure system, kind of bringing in some more of that moisture. I'll move this out of the way for you guys. We're going to warm up pretty much towards the low 80s for your Tuesday, and it's going to still feel amazing outdoors, just with those feels like values dropping us back down into the upper 70s. So a beautiful work week is in store. Just got to get through these rain chances and stormy conditions tonight. You're going to be good to go and have a fantastic work week ahead. So take a look at that 7-day forecast. Still 20% chance of rain tomorrow, just showcasing not most of us will see that, but still a little bit confident on those rain chances throughout the early morning hours. Then we're talking about clearer skies for your Tuesday, warming up slightly back into the low 80s for your Wednesday and Thursday. Just a picture perfect work week ahead. So I know all of us will finally enjoy just much calmer and beautiful weather in store for us. Partly cloudy skies return for your Friday, and then next weekend still looking pretty toasty, but still beautiful at this moment. So I know everybody's wanting to start those summertime activities, hop in the pool. We're finally getting that summertime weather here in North Mississippi where we can all enjoy. Real quick before we wrap this up, I want to make sure you guys don't have any questions. Looks like it was still just that 40% chance of rain question as far as asking about the percentages. So it looks like I explained everything well for you guys. Let's take a look at radar one more time before we wrap this up. Again, still not seeing anything impressive whatsoever. I showed y'all that other HRRR model projection from earlier this afternoon just because the current one is showing a lot of rain kind of further east towards the Golden Triangle region. We're not seeing that right now. So this is ongoing rain that continues to stay primarily out west towards the Delta. We can shift our radar sights again just to get another visual on it. This is currently in Memphis. Let's go to Columbus. Still seeing those heavier showers out there and still quite energetic. We're still reading around 328 lightning strikes you can see in the top left corner of your screen. So all that activity continues to stay further out west, pretty much along I-55 and further west. It will continue to kind of move over, cross east, getting closer towards our eastern side of our viewing area. We can even, just for fun, take a look at it through our Jackson radar. And yeah, you can still tell, primarily still out there in the Delta, not quite talking about it. Yes, so somebody was asking, will the storms tonight stay subsevere? That's the expectation. Most of the time, storms kind of need that daytime heating, all that fuel, that cape that we talk about, that kind of helps provide energy to the storms. And so typically when you get those storms earlier during the day, you don't want to see that timing just because it has a lot to act on. And so we saw a few of those severe thunderstorm warnings earlier. Even that was very limited. So already seeing those kind of move on through, act on that energy and what was very limited already. Not expecting these storms to kind of act on much left over. But I'm going to continue monitoring this throughout the next few hours to make sure that no warnings are in place. And if there is one, we'll make sure to send you guys an alert to get y'all back on the broadcast and make sure you guys are well updated. But for the most part, these storms continue to be very unimpressive, not expecting much into the overnight period, hoping to see that trend continue. But of course, with that, we'll also be live later on tonight at 10 to give you the very latest look at some more model runs and also what those storms are looking like by the 10 o'clock hour as well. So hopefully you can join us later on tonight. But I mean, if nothing's going on, y'all get some rest, get some sleep before your Monday morning tomorrow. And unfortunately, for another work week starts. Did an excellent job celebrating your moms and just anyone special to you on this lovely Mother's Day and just getting through the storms this afternoon and evening. With that, like I mentioned, we'll be live later on tonight at 10, continuing to talk about those rain showers and storms into the overnight period. And storms continue to be kind of in reach, but I mean, you can still tell with those lightning strikes. They're pretty energetic out there, causing some rumbles of thunder, seeing those flashes of light in the sky, and we'll make sure to give you the very latest as we continue into the overnight period ahead. So we'll be live later on tonight at 10, and then I cannot wait to see you guys there. But for those going to sleep and kind of wrapping up y'all's weekend, it's been a pleasure, and I'll see y'all next time.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.